What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We're the NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez. With me tonight is Chris, the stats man Gorman. Hit him with the stats, Chris.
Hey. Last time Dante DiVincenzo tore a ligament in his knee, or had a ligament tear, his team won the NBA championship. One other caveat with this, which is kind of funny, that same year, Giannis hyperextended his knee. And the Bucks still won the championship that year. So history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Rhyme. Who knows?
Yes, it does harmonize as well. Wow, very interesting. And he's running up on you like Jokic runs up on a late game dunk. It's the lawn ball, Sherman Krause. Get that, Joe.
Okay. We're going to get into this, I think, first, but
yeah,
I'm just going to start it off. Is
Is
running up on McDaniels more of a bitch move than handing the ball over and then getting the jump ball? Because I think the jump ball thing is a bigger bitch move than running up on somebody.
I don't know.
The jump ball thing is stupid.
It was childish. It was weird. It was just you've never seen that before.
It was weird. It was like yeah.
So people are like, oh, he's 4D chess in this. It's like,
no,
I don't know.
Dumb, stupid. Okay, I don't like that. I didn't like that intro, Titus. That's.
I'm sorry.
It's a rough one.
Trying to think of something current, ready to go. I had it.
That's fine. I need to come up with a weekly segment like Chris, so I won't be surprised by your shtick.
I like it. I like that.
I like the surprise shtick.
Yeah, I like the surprise shtick. It's funny to just kind of like to see what happens this time. And sometimes it's not great, and sometimes it's good. So
it's always great. It's just a matter if I like it or not.
Yeah, we'll just get back in the drawing. There's times where it's not great. It's okay. You make the most of it, but it's all right. We'll go back to the tape. Watch the tape for next week for our 200th episode coming up, which is nice. But we are in episode 199, and we got a fun show for you guys tonight. We are going to be talking about the playoffs so far. Obviously, we got big news with all the injuries, unfortunately, to one of our teams. And then a lot of strange occurrences, different leads. Series have swung since the last time we potted. So lots to talk about tonight. But we'll start off with Chris, Minnesota Timberwolves. Up 3-1, and then disaster strikes. DiVincenzo tears the Achilles, out for the season, probably most of next season. And then bone bruise, hyperextended knee here for Ant. What are they officially calling it?
Both of those, yeah.
Both of those things.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
He could be out for multiple weeks, but it could just be 1 week.
Okay.
We'll
that's good.
Take it a week at a time.
Okay. Yeah, I looked it up that night, and I was like, this could be weeks, and frustrating.
But hard way stepping on Naz Reid's ankle, making me feel like, oh God, are we going to lose Naz Reid now? He's one of our top 5 leading scorers.
Yeah, we can't have 2 of them. But losing your backcourt, Chris. I mean, obviously, so the game that they go down, it will go down as the IO game. One of the best performances off the bench of all time in the playoffs. Great to see a Chicago boy getting his flowers in there. But what a performance, 43 points off the bench for Io. And then the following game didn't quite have the magic there in Denver and allowed it to go 3-2. How are you feeling looking forward here for the last 2 games in the series? Hopefully only one needed. And then how was that like roller coaster?
The emotions I have been experiencing in this series is beyond anything I could have possibly imagined. Watching game 4, the IO game, he's not gonna lie, it's the best game of his career. It was one of those things where you're having I saw a tweet about it from Chris. I forget, I don't know, it was Chris Hine or somebody else, but it was like you have a drunken night with your friends, you had a great time, and then you wake up the next morning, you realize how much bad stuff happened. Right? Like, wait, Dante,
oh my God,
Achilles. Hyperextended his knees. Like, oh crap, we won, but like, what? Like, oh my God, no.
We had a great time, but Joey's in jail.
Exactly. It's like, oh no,
we got to go get him, man. Come on, Chris, wake up.
Let's be honest. You guys would leave me.
You would be getting one of us. If we're being real honest.
You'd be on the roof. You'd be like the guy in The Hangover that woke up on the roof.
We'd be Doug on
We
the
gotta find
roof.
Joe.
And we have to
is
find
he?
Joey. We'd be like, "Where's Joey? What
What
do we do to
happened?
Joey?"
A roofie. Oh, he's on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So you're in the roller coasters of emotions here, ups and downs. Yeah, that game
And even-
obviously. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even in Game 5, I wanted to go to sleep. It's 11:30. There's
Yeah.
still 10 minutes left. They're down by 19. I'm thinking, no, it's over. And then a couple threes are hit here. TJ, I think, had 50. I don't have it in front of you. It was like 15 points in that game. Io got that crazy steal. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of that.
Yeah, no, I don't think I saw that.
I'm
one.
sure you weren't up.
Yeah, I was not up for that one.
Right.
I will admit that.
But Io had a steal. They brought it within 10, and everybody in the crowd is silent. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh my god, the Timberwolves
This
are going
could
to
happen,
again in Game 5 instead of Game 7.
Yeah,
And of course, then there was like an and one by the Nuggets, and they pulled it out. But
just held him off.
I honestly, Jaden guaranteed a Game 6 victory. He
All
said
right,
it in the
okay.
post game. He was like, hey, "We're going to win Game 6."
We
And
won Game 6.
I have no reason to doubt him because the way the Wolves have been playing defense, Jaden's been on Jamal Murray,
Yeah,
like whatever analogy you want to use in that kind of situation. And then Gobert's been fantastic on Jokic, and we can get TJ some more minutes. Bones can hit a couple more shots. Nas shows up and maybe has a game. He hasn't really done much this series.
they just need
They
one.
should be able to squeak this out. So
Yeah. Joey, how has it been? So we're, obviously we're like sort of tangential fans of Minnesota through Chris, and like sort of rooting for Minnesota for our friend to get some joy out of a sports team since we can't. How has that been? Obviously, the IO game for us was great. For all of us, we're all Chicago fans. So, how has that been for you? Give us that side.
I think we should have gotten 2 more second-round picks.
Yeah, maybe
Probably out of this is the big takeaway. No, that was probably one of the most fun games in like recent history for me to watch because like there was the connection. It was like
yeah.
We as Bulls fans haven't had much to watch in terms of excitement. That might have been more fun to watch when the Bulls beat the Bucks in Game 2 and whatever year that was in 19. Because like
it's a close call.
Because like it was Game 2 and like they had their full squad, right? This was like the fact that Chris wrote in the chat was like he's gonna have to get 35 tonight for us to stand a chance.
I
was gonna say 40, and I'm like, I don't want to say 40.
Watching, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna do it. He's getting it. He's getting it. I kind of agree though. Like they just need one. Like watching the highlights, like they didn't look like they didn't stand a chance without Ant and DiVincenzo, and that I think for them has to give them a lot of hope. Like you're on the road for that game.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
So it's gonna be tough, and you knew that you were gonna get the best version of the Nuggets at that point in time. They were on the ropes. They had the whole Jaden incident, right? So they had all the fuel that they needed, but Game 6 kind of feels like they have a really good chance of doing it.
Yeah.
Like Chris said, he mentioned it. They've got the defensive matchups right. They just need their role players to become, for one game, they need them to put it all together and not be just role players.
Yeah, I mean,
Jaden is sorry, keep it.
I said I guess I'll play devil's advocate a little bit here.
Okay, so no, Jaden. No, okay, so no.
I'm gonna stop you there. No, I would just say like I think this is not to put like too much pressure on, but I feel like this is it right here, Game 6, where the pressure's still on the Nuggets. Right, you're going into their house, you're down. Yeah, okay, Ant's not playing, but still, like they've got guys that can beat you, and if you don't get that one in Minnesota, it's over. So, but even though Minnesota would have one more chance after that, I feel like then the pressure would switch back to now you're looking down the barrel of going back to Denver. The series is tied now, and it's a 1-game winner take all with who knows what can happen. We all know Game 7s are crazy. So that's the only thing I'd be worried about. If you're Minnesota, just get it done. I go, all right, we dodged a bullet there, we were going to win that series. We got an injury. Let's just try to give them some time to recoup, and let's see when we can get them back. And
I agree with that. There's also just the fact that, like, obviously the Timberwolves did beat them in Game 7 the last time. There's always that caveat. I feel the other thing about Game 6, in Game 5, Spencer Jones, 4 or 5 from 3, 7 or 9 from the field, 20 points. This guy has I'm gonna say this to also caveat though that like if I ever met this guy, he would kick my ass. I'll never, say this to his face. I'm saying this behind a screen preemptively, but he has the most punchable face I've ever seen. That guy's. It's just like just
going.
Sorry, Spencer, but oh my god, like I just want to hurt you. Like, I'm never going to. It's sports. It's fine. Everything's good. Yeah. He just could not miss. He's a weird shot, weird release, but it works. It clicks. Yeah. So
that's always most annoying.
getting your game in to make up for Aaron Gordon being out.
I mean,
it'll be interesting. Yeah.
Denver's dealing with injuries too, so it's not like Gordon hasn't looked right the whole series, and they got a few of the guys down, so it's not like this is a full strength Denver. I think this is a very they're still manageable right now for Minnesota. So I think though if we go forward here, Ant needs to be back and helping you guys out. So
yeah, we'll see. That's why they lost Game 5 because they just wanted to extend the series.
They're like, we need
more time.
we need to give him more time. The Spurs are already winning. We gotta wait.
Spurs already won. They knew it was over when Wembanyama was going to play again. One thing I wanted to also call out is Jaden McDaniels is 1 of 14 in this series. He shoots 30-something%, so like regression to the mean should take place in Game 6.
Have a game.
Could predict like a 4 or 5 from him. And also Jaden I don't know if you guys watched much of Game 5, but he's the perfect villain in the sense of like the Nuggets were trying to rile him up, and he just has the same face the whole time. Like nobody cares. Like he does not care. Like he's like, yeah, man, let's just play ball. Like, what are you doing?
Ball up top, let's go.
There was a moment in the game where like Jonas Valanciunas was trying to be the big bully because the guy's 300 pounds, 7 feet tall, and he had the ball, and then someone like came from behind him. He's like, nope, mine. And he realizes it's the ref. He's like, oh, sorry. So, he's so like kind of a jerky, like, no, I gotta know.
In the trenches there.
Look, Jaden McDaniels.
He's in their heads, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they won't say it. The Nuggets won't say it.
They won't say it, but he's in their heads.
But it's definitely in their heads. The media for the Nuggets is maybe it's just my algorithm, but they suck. They just keep trying to pile it on, like, oh, maybe we should hurt Jaden McDaniels. If he gets hurt, it's not the Nuggets' fault. Like he brought it on himself. It's like he just made a layup and called you guys, say you guys couldn't play defense.
Which you have not been able to do. So,
which you clearly have not.
He's just saying truths. He's just
they're now 11th in defensive rating, by the way, out of 16 teams. So I don't know if
bombs.
If Adelman's gonna say that one, he might get fired. By the way, the coach, the way he's been.
He's not very
managing this series.
He's not very good at the microphone.
He's kind of weak. Like did you see he had like a thing during the press conference how like, but offense doesn't matter. And the reporter's like, okay, I've never said that, but anyways, here's my question. It's like, what are you doing, David? Like you gotta calm down here. Like he said in a post game, like don't get, all right, let's not get too excited. And it's like, get a little. I don't.
We get a little excited, right?
Get a little excited. You won. You didn't. You
lose. Yeah,
I just wouldn't.
Yeah, he doesn't look. Yeah, I don't know, man.
He never looked the part.
Yeah, you don't want to do it. Like
again, another guy that I'll never be person. Even though I could probably kick his ass, but
I could definitely kick his ass.
I think I could.
Chris,
right?
Yeah, that's awesome, Chris. Thursday night is it's appointment TV. I'm gonna have to nap prior to that.
8:30.
It's 8:30. That's better.
It's better. It's better than 9:30. Yeah. So.
Are you going to be in attendance, Chris?
I sold the tickets for a hefty profit.
Good.
Well done.
It's because Baskets is still out of town. She'll be back tomorrow night, so we wouldn't be able to make the game anyway. So we're hoping that we can use the money we made to go to the next round and kind
Fair enough.
There we go. There it is. I like it.
Not hoping. That's the plan.
Yeah, the plan is
that's the plan. Yes,
we'll roll these winnings into
That's right.
The next round. Well, we touched on it briefly there, but we can kind of quickly touch on the two series that are done. Obviously, the Thunder Spurs was not much of a contest and a sweep there for the Thunder, and Thunder Suns was not much of a contest, sweep for the Thunder, and then the Spurs beating the Trailblazers 4-1. Wemby goes out, misses a game, he's back. Looked great in the return. and the Spurs take it down. Joey, a lot of sort of consternation in the the OKC series of the fouls, things like that. And the Spurs series was again pretty straightforward. Anything surprising you in these two series, or are these two teams just kind of lying in wait here for whoever they match up with next?
Yeah, lying in wait. I don't want to look ahead, but the
Yeah.
ultimate flop fest could be coming our way with OKC Lakers in round 2.
Yeah,
Luka would likely maybe be returning.
yeah,
But it's bad when maybe it's my algorithm, but I was getting a lot of things about guys saying that the Thunder made people like Dylan Brooks. And I was watching the clips and I was like, God damn, they're right. And I'm not a big fan of that guy.
Yeah,
And it's
no.
like, yeah, like that last game, it was almost like he was just out to prove a point. Like they knew they weren't going to win, and they just kind of were like, we're gonna try and accentuate all the things that we've been saying about this.
yeah.
I don't know. OKC seems like they're on a path. I don't know if they're round 2 matchup against the Lakers. I mean the Lakers have been playing well. Reeves is back tonight, so maybe they get out of this one. They got some time to rest and pick it up. But I don't like OKC anymore. Like last year, I was kind of like, whatever. Like Caruso was fun, like he was kind of ours still, but like there's nothing likable on them. I don't know. They don't have Jalen, right? He's gonna be out for a few more weeks, so like they're gonna have a test, I think. But the Spurs are for me more of a concern in the West. Like
I think
Wemby looks like he's here and
he's ready.
That dude looks like he is. He understands what this means and understands that this is his like moment to cement himself as the best player in the league. And it looks like he's out to take it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Chris, thoughts on this series or those two series?
On both, they're the most predictable. Series.
Right.
I think we had them spot on with Thunder in 4 and Spurs in 4. We knew Spurs in 5 because we're like Wemby will be out for some reason. He had a concussion.
Yeah.
So it worked out exactly as we thought. Wembanyama's already has 6. He already has 16 blocks in 4 games.
Yeah.
The Wolves have 17 overall. I didn't go through every team's blocks, but it's a lot of blocks, guys.
Like people are dogging Aksio for like going at him. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, did you see those two guys don't like each other?
Yeah.
Wembanyama. They like were doing the handshake on the line. They kind of just like.
Wemby called Denny a flopper, right? Basically said he basically free throw merchant, right? And flops and tries to get calls.
I mean, Denny had 47 free throw attempts of the 110 that the Blazers had in this series.
He probably also had 60% of the points scored by them, so that math probably tracks.
111 of the 500 total points scored, so he was responsible for like a little over 22%.
Okay.
And then like Castle had 27 free throws. He was leading on the Spurs. So like 47 is absurd. The Blazers are the way the Blazers were set up was like the worst version of basketball to watch, where it's like really strong defense. Nobody really cares to watch really good defense a lot, I don't know. To a certain point, they've like no good offense. Their offense comes through a guy who just tries to drive to the paint, draw fouls. It's a bad version of the Thunder in a way. And
everybody's great. Everybody's copying the Thunder now, and
it's the Timu version of the Thunder.
The Timu Thunder. Yeah, and now the coach. Yeah.
No, go. No, you got a coach.
Apparently, the owners want to pay the coach, and wants to pay the minimum, which is its own thing. That'll be an interesting thing to follow to see how this owner is, because the Hurricanes are good in hockey, but
Remember that up. The question I had about that Spurs series in particular, and maybe the Spurs run here, is this so? Obviously, it's a very early run for a sort of transcendent talent, a LeBron type, a Kobe type, something like that. Is this one of the best teams a young number one has had behind him? Because you think of like LeBron's first run with that Cavs team, and they're terrible. You know what I mean? That Cavs team was not good behind him. Even though they were, sort of a high seed, they weren't really all that great. this one feels like this could be a little bit more real. Do you guys see this team, Wemby in particular, as a serious threat if they were to get to an OKC conference finals?
That's a good question. So I'm trying to think. Like last year, when Wemby was out, the Spurs weren't very good.
Yeah.
So I feel like we need to see, if they don't win it this year, we need to see like another strong season out of this kind of squad as it's built to know if that's the case. Because like they've had flashes as individuals, but I feel like it always kind of central comes back to Wemby. Like they did play okay this year when Wemby was out. They had a decent record, but I'm wondering if like they're just making them like they look so much better because Wemby takes so much attention, and that they're able to just be average players, but they look above average because they have him.
Yeah. Is this their like getting lumps season, or is this a breakthrough season? Maybe
I feel like breakthrough season is on the table. Like it should be their getting lump season, but he is.
He might just be that guy.
He's that guy. Like there's no team that has an answer for him, and nobody ever will have an answer for him until somebody identical to him comes along.
Yeah.
Until that Oliver Ryu guy from Florida, he's not half the player though. That Wemby is.
Yeah, he's a quarter of the player. So it's like it is their lump season, but he might be enough to kind of will them through.
I'm looking at this roster for the Spurs, and it's just absurd. They have Fox, Champagny, and Vassell, who are here now. Those are guys that like can win now.
Yeah.
They got Castle starting with them. Dylan Harper, I forgot he was the second overall pick.
Yeah.
We've always been talking about Edgecombe and Con Knipple. Like Harper went second, and he's living up to the hype. He just wasn't a top three Roy this year, right? And Carter Bryant's more of a next year guy, but he was the 14th pick. He looks okay. He's kind of like a and then Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett, like Julian Champagny. Yeah, I said Champagny, right? But the whole team, they have a team. There's Harrison Barnes who can come in and get some spot minutes. Kelly Olynyk, I think, can keep wearing his short socks and the three maybe or something, or just
who's up out there, buddy?
Take up some minutes. But this team is here. It's weird, but the team is here now. And, they went 4-1 against the Thunder in the regular season, so that would be a fun series. I hope we get it. I don't want to say that already because hey, the Timberwolves beat the week against Julius Randle. It's the last time Randle looked the most engaged that I think I've ever seen him. So I'd love to see that kind of play out. But
yeah, you're right. We gotta see that
first team is probably the scariest team for the Thunder.
For the Thunder, okay, and that's what I was thinking. I know we're trying to so. That was the ones that are completed of what we got left. So that we haven't talked about, we got Lakers, Rockets, Magic, Pistons, Cavaliers, Raps, Knicks, Hawks, Celtics, and Sixers. What's been the most surprising series to you guys so far? Chris, we'll start you here. Is there one that you're like, I can't believe this is happening, or something that's been interesting? I know we had like the Rockets crazy game, giving up
the Lakers Rockets to me has been the. Not even just the sense that like when the Lakers won game 1, I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then they won 3 more or 2 more. They're up 3-0. The Rockets finally pulled one out to make it seem like it's not a total embarrassment.
Yeah.
But if Reeves is back, what's stopping the Lakers from taking this?
He is cleared to play tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He's cleared to play.
Yeah, they're going tonight. Yeah.
Yep, he's going tonight.
And is Durant playing, or is he still out?
That's a good question. I haven't heard, so I'm assuming he's out. I haven't seen anything saying to the opposite.
Even if he was back, like, does that
even matter?
At this point with him, Eamon Thompson's been the difference maker. I think his on-off is like +7 on and -15 when he's off. It's been nuts with him, but Sengun looks fat and not like he looks like a poor man's Wemby, which is poor man's Jokic. She kind of always felt like, but this Rockets team is weird, and it sucks because like it feels like Ime Udoka might get fired, and maybe he should, but like Van Vliet didn't play all year. Durant kind of can't help himself but make it about himself and kind of feel like everyone else is at fault but him. And I don't know, it's a weird team.
It's definitely been surprising for sure that the up 6 with whatever less than a minute left and losing is still wild. Joey, for you, what's been the most surprising series?
We can go over to the Pistons.
Pistons Magic. Yeah, I think
Pistons
they're still
Magic.
currently playing.
Oh yeah, we said we might save this one.
Yeah, but it's about we got about 3 minutes left, so
I think the Pistons are pulling this.
Pistons are looking like they're going to be good. So
good.
obviously, yeah, the 3-1 is
Yep.
super interesting. But so go ahead. What do you think? 'Cause you're the Pistons guy. You know?
Yeah, the Magic figured out how to play defense against the Pistons, and that defense is swarm Cade and see if anybody else can score a basket. They had 20 turnovers in Game 4, and scored. The Magic scored 20 points off those turnovers. Cade had 8 turnovers in Game 4, 9 in Game 3. So 17 through 2 games is not a good way to do it. And then Game 4, the Pistons shot 6 of 30 from the 3-point line. So the problems that I said were solved in Game 2 came back to rear their ugly heads in Game 3 and 4. Franz is out though on his typical injuries, which seems to be a thing for him that happens pretty often. I'm going to game talk a little bit, but Cade's having a heater tonight.
Nice.
Jalen Duren's coming back to life a little bit, and their shooters are actually scoring, which is what they need. But like when the stories have been Wendell Carter Jr. is getting the best of Jalen Duren, that's not a good sign.
No.
I saw this is random. Apparently, Angel Reese dated Jalen Duren at some point, and then is now dating Wendell Carter Jr. So they were talking about it being the Angel Reese boost, that the Pistons were good when he was dating her, and now that he's down there, she's down there. Like, oh god, it made me laugh.
Yeah, she like Instagrammed or put a story of Duren getting Wendell on something or something, maybe a little fire under his ass. Yeah, that was how I heard about this thing. I didn't even know they were dating each other or anything like that.
Amazing.
Then I saw this people were kind of dogging her for like, what are you doing? Put your your man on blast here like this, but
overall, like the Pistons they don't look like themselves. They look kind of, I don't want to say soft, but they look I guess they're
kind of soft, man. I mean, it's weird.
But they're gonna have to have a fire under their ass to get back into this, because if they can't get out of the first round against a team that had to get in through the play-in and barely got in through the play-in, I think people are going to look back at the trade deadline for them and say, you guys had a setup here in the East that could have worked in your favor. You probably should have done something. There's going to be a lot of questions around, is this team built right for next season going forward? Because they clearly have the ability, but if they can't put it together when it counts, it doesn't matter. So,
I think particularly if somebody kind of goofy goes through, you know what I mean? If it's, let's say, a Boston or New York or somebody that's, the Pistons could have beaten, you'd be like, man, you guys weren't there, but instead the Magic got there to the conference finals, and then they looked like they became themselves and got beat. And if you would have done something, you could have been there. So definitely an interesting series. Another bit of game talk here, though. I have to add, like, it was maybe the most boring series, Toronto and Cleveland, and now somehow Toronto's back into it and leading here in the third quarter. Not quite wrapped up, but potentially going up 3-2 in the Cavs. Just one of the weirdest turnarounds. This is the first time too I've actually paid attention to it. And Joe, you said pre-pod that once Toronto started to do good, you started to actually go, all right, let me check the series out.
Peek in,
but
they weren't even doing good.
Yeah,
they went 4 of 30 from 3 in the last game. They won. Like, okay,
they started winning games. Yeah, that's what I should say.
Like
the Cavs went 10 of 40 in the last game.
Yeah.
So like they both are fucking terrible.
Yeah, this is a gross series, but why is it going so long?
If you wrestle in the mud, you can't be doing that with James Harden. He's not. And Mitchell was Harden was 6 of 14.
Yeah,
Mitchell was.
Hang on, pause. I'm out.
Wait, what?
If you wrestle in the mud, you can't be doing that with James Harden. Then you just move up. What does that mean?
Like you want to do that with a scrapper, like a Scotty Barnes type.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a strip club thing. That like
I was like, is this some sort of mud wrestling? Where are we going with this?
Gotcha.
That might be one of the all-time lines.
Harden's somebody that like kind of needs everything to be the right way. It feels like for him to succeed, and when it's not, he doesn't really have like a like a second or third gear. It feels like for him to succeed at a high level. But Mitchell was 25% this game. I don't know. I'm surprised the Cavs are this bad. Is Evan Mobley just too skinny to compete at this level? Is that what the issue is?
The Cavs. This is another. I mean, we can, as the series start to conclude, we can talk about teams that need to do something. But this just seems like a team that's just not. It's just not happening, man. And I don't know. I don't know if it's Mobley. I don't know if it's the combination of him and Donovan Mitchell. But it's just not working. And if they lose this series to Toronto after being up 2-0, man, it's crazy.
What do you do?
What do you? I mean, that's exactly. What do you do?
Like,
I think. I mean, we can do this
underwater on it.
Yeah. We can go. I mean, later we'll maybe go into details on like the Giannis teams, but there's, they would be them. You start talking about the who's the other team that just lost? I was thinking
he wants to go to Cleveland.
He doesn't like LA, so maybe he'd like Cleveland.
Like Cleveland instead.
I think they're gonna have not gonna have to. They need to move on from Jared Allen. Like they need to find a way to dump that contract for whatever it is and make it.
He's probably the best asset. That's a good call because
he's the best asset, right?
Yeah,
but like the two of them together just don't seem like they're both kind of the same player, kind of like this skinny, like tall dude who like sometimes strong, sometimes not strong. The thing I saw when I was looking through the Cavs was game 4, they allowed 21 offensive rebounds, which led to 19 second chance points. Like those two guys are massive. Like there's no way you shouldn't be giving up that many. How are you giving up that many rebounds to who? Jakob Poeltl? Right? Like
yes.
Colin Murray Boyles.
Jakob Poeltl.
6'7" center.
Cool. Two great names, right? Like how is that happening?
Yeah.
Like that's not okay.
No.
This is not okay.
Yeah, just a crazy turn of events from just something that felt pretty boring, and then maybe like just a whole hum 5-game series or something like that. That's now gonna drag out at least a little. Even a series tied up. So,
shout out Colin Murray Boyles,
right.
6'7" inside center. I haven't seen this since like Kenneth Farid or Joey Dorsey. I'm trying to think of other big guys
kings
that can shoot.
Yeah.
These guys don't last long, so just enjoy them while they're here. Colin Murray Boyles, he's gonna be. I'm gonna have to watch a game now of the Raptors Cavs.
You should clip that and send it right to him.
Yeah. Of the two series we haven't talked about, Knicks, Hawks, Celtics, Sixers, both up 3-2. Knicks and Celtics, the favored teams, but sort of some bumps in the roads, particularly for the Celtics, kind of giving up the booty there last night in Game 5 in Boston. What are you guys doing? The Knicks came back and won Game 5, so this is maybe my thought on this series. It's kind of funny how the wins happen, right? Same game, 3-2 going into Game 6, but they feel a little different when you win a Game 5 versus lose a Game 5, and now you're going in. So, do you guys think these two just end up winning their series? Maybe whether it's 6 or 7 games, is it a Knicks Celtics second round, or is there some potential here for the Hawks or the Sixers to make a little noise?
Is it weird to think that the Sixers could push Game 7?
No, I don't think that's weird.
Because if Embiid plays like he did in the second half and stays inside the paint and doesn't touch the 3-point line for an entire game,
they certainly.
I don't know if the Celtics have a great answer. Like when Cato went out and Vooch was in there, it was like Embiid just got. I don't know. It's like he got turned on. It was like, oh yeah, I remember you. I forgot about you. You're still here. Like oh, you're over here now. Remember how you couldn't beat us in Chicago for like 7 years? Like
that was
get over here. I think the Celtics obviously have the better team in the long run. So you would imagine, kind of like the Wolves, like out of 3 tries, they should be able to snag 1.
Yeah,
but I could see him pushing to Game 7 more than I think Atlanta. Every time I look at Atlanta, I think of CJ McCollum now and Chris's, he's the measuring stick of like where you're at, and he had 6 points in game 4 and Brunson had 39. It was like, well,
Oh, wow.
there's the measuring stick, right?
Yep.
Like if he's not
There's the
doing it,
difference.
it's pretty much all you have. So I think Atlanta had a fun run. I think my prediction of them being an upset is probably over on that one. Brunson seems to have found a stride, but Embiid might be scary for Boston for another game.
Embiid and Maxey in particular too. Chris,
With McCollum, he's a 34-year-old dad. He's not trying to be a villain. He's just trying to play some basketball, go home to his
he's a
kids.
nice guy.
Just a walking meme.
guy. You know, he didn't want that smoke. The Hawks won both of their games by 1 point. I don't know what the total point differential is. Sorry, not total of 1 point, but 1 point each game.
Yeah, no,
And then the Knicks won by 9. They won by 16. I'm doing quick math here. And then they won by 29.
Yeah.
The Knicks have really been in control.
Yeah, this has been a different
but the shortcomings are there where Brunson is too small.
Nice. I'll play it there. The shortcomings.
Who are they playing next round? If assuming
Boston to the Sixers, so
yeah, and so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So like go with the Sixers though. With Embiid, the series is 1-1, right? Like they won one game with Embiid and they lost a game with Embiid. And shout out to Brad Stevens for Executive of the Year. Do you think Missoula has any comments on Brad Stevens winning that, considering how he was like, if I'm coach of the year, this is a stupid award? How do you think he feels about Executive of the Year? He's like, Brad, don't even show me that trophy. Get out of here with that.
Don't acknowledge that.
Don't even, right? Like you weren't on the court bleeding with these men. Like, what do you think you deserve winning?
You get an award? You get an award for that? What? Okay, buddy. Easy. Go watch The Town again.
But like, I don't understand why they got Vooch watching this game with Embiid. Like Kita can't stay on the court. I think he had 5 fouls in this game.
Yeah, he was getting in foul trouble.
5, 6.
I mean, Vooch early was looking good. I think I texted the group.
He did.
Hitting some, and I you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was feeling the Celtics had a rough start, and we were at B-Dubs, bottomless apps, watching the game. It was awesome, by the way. No, not an ad for B-Dubs. Bottomless apps. We're talking about it off air, so it's not an ad, but this is the truth, guys. So we're there watching the game, bottomless apps, and terrible service, but it's fine.
Two vegetarians go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. They have others. They have, they fry vegetables there. We had the fried pickles and the fried onions. It was great. So
I'm sure their wings don't touch that fry oil in any way, shape, or form.
I'm sure they do different oils. It's fine. We're not that.
Yeah, they respect
they respect it.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We derailed. So we're there watching it, and the Celtics started to pull away a little bit, like the rough start. Started got back into it and started to pull away a little bit. So I was kind of getting a little like, all right, here we go. This is a 5-game series. We're done. And I was texting you guys, Vooch hitting big playoff threes, just to kind of tongue in cheek, like the IO and some of the other guys we've seen from the old Bulls stuff. So
you believed it. You believe.
I didn't. No, it was tongue in cheek.
You were pumped up.
I was pumped up. I was pumped up.
Hey, we've all been duped by the Vooch. It's okay.
Vooch, let's go. It's just fun to have Vooch on the team. But then second half, it looked like it was flashbacks to the old Bulls days. And like, oh yeah, Vooch does not look good out there, man. This is tough.
The reason why I brought Brad Stevens is I don't understand why they have Garza and Kita.
Yeah.
Why get Vooch? Because Vooch was just there. So it's like, oh,
they're like, we can just
pretty
get him
good
for a second round pick. The Bulls don't want
Simons. They wanted to dump Simons. I think that's
that's what it was
more of than anything.
And then it was like, I think he's like, even when I thought it was just like he's a playable guy in the playoffs. I don't think they were expecting much out of him, but it's like, hey, it's a guy we can get some minutes out of. So.
And Garza, there's no defense with Luka Garza, let alone whatever Vooch is giving you. But I'd be shocked if Boston doesn't win Game 6.
Oh,
I think Boston was like the only team who had like a better road record than home record. I want to double check that.
I would say it was weird. The TD Garden or whatever got real quiet, and I don't know. It does seem like one of those fan bases. New York, I would add into this too, where I mean, I guess a lot of fan bases are like this, but when you the screws start to get a little tight, I feel like the crowd
they're not bad.
disappoints.
They're like the worst fan base, I think, Boston. because they've experienced so much winning.
Yeah, they're like
So they just
entitled.
feel entitled to it, and it's the worst fan base.
It's like, oh, we're not winning right now. What's going on? And
Yeah,
it's like, come on, guys, get them going.
They're like mad shit talkers for every sport, and then
Yeah.
when it doesn't go perfectly, it's like, oh shit.
I like it. All right, well, that's where we're at so far. Obviously, we got some games going tonight. We'll have games tomorrow.
Pistons did win.
Pistons did win. Okay, yeah. So 3-2 Pistons going back to the Magic, right?
Yes, it got
Orlando
close.
Oh man,
they won by 7, 116-109.
I think if you're Orlando, way more than Minnesota. You got to do this in 6.
All right, let's relax on that.
Sorry, yeah,
way more than okay.
Way more than Minnesota. Like Minnesota is you got 2 cracks at it.
Dude, Paulo had 45. Cade had 45.
Oh man, what a duel!
That's a duel.
That's a duel. All right, we'll have to must watch for the Orlando game.
It's got a must watch. It's a good series.
Yeah, it's been a good series.
One thing I just want to summarize before we move on is just looking at every series, every game. To me, it feels like there are only 2 teams like at the macro level that look like they can win the championship. It's honestly just one with the Thunder.
Yeah.
It feels like the Thunder are just a league above everybody else.
Yes.
One thing that Iguodala, I think he's playing center for the Suns. He mentioned that one of the things that like what was the difference maker that you saw from the Thunder, what you learned is that the Thunder knew all of their plays. Like they were calling every single action they were doing. And it's like, I thought he was just going to talk about the fouls or something, but he actually said like an honest thing. And it's like, they're just a smart team. And like getting the fouls is a part of that, but also like knowing the team's plays is another part. They just seem like the most put together team to go back to back. And it's making me sad because then I look at the East and like, who's coming out of the East, guys?
This
like,
is
the
wide
Celtics
open.
Feels like it would be it, but they just lost with Embiid. Who knows? The Raptors are beating the Cavs. The Knicks, I guess. But if it's the Knicks, it's over in 4 in the finals. Like,
I think the finals. I think it will be very boring depending on. I mean, I don't see any team like really making a serious challenge to OKC if they were there. If San Antonio was there, something like that, different story. But I think the East, no matter who comes out, it's just like they're gonna come out of the East. Basically, like the way you just said it, Chris, is exactly how I feel about like every team. Like if it's the Pistons, even if it's the Pistons, right? Like, okay, they're gonna come out of the East. You know what I mean? Like the team that just lost 3 times to
imagine the Magic.
Yeah, the Magic, they're gonna come out of the East. Come on, like no, they're not. Like every team feels like they have some major flaw, except for maybe Boston, but.
But like Boston, I feel like you can still buy yourself into it. Like, all right,
you can talk yourself into it, but
their flaw is Vooch.
Vooch.
Yeah, then you go, but they're giving Vooch minutes. Like Nikola Vucevic is going to be minutes.
If they get out of this series, they won't have to run into a guy like Embiid again, though.
Yeah,
like Jared Allen is the test, or I guess Towns, but Towns is more of a perimeter guy.
They're fine with that. Vooch can guard Towns. That's okay. All right, fun stuff. I think we have one last thing we're going to talk about here: the new draft system. I still don't even know how this works, so I'm not even going to try to explain it. But just, I don't know, Chris, if you had a handle on it a little bit.
Yeah, I have a little summary I can read off.
Summary, and then I had some interesting stuff.
So. The one I don't know if there's a couple. I think it's just this one they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's other options, but the 3-2-1 lottery format, expanding to fit 16 teams, flattening the odds. My favorite part of this is the relegation zone.
Yes.
So that the bottom 3 teams have the same lottery odds as teams 11, 12, 13, and 14 at 5.4%. Then 8.1 for seeds 4 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then the play-in losers even get a 2.7% chance.
Yeah.
So this chart that I sent you guys that I wish I might able to pull it up right now, but I think that's the simplest way to explain it. Where like it feels like, all right, I wanted some sort of relegation without relegating teams because
you can't relegate.
It's still insane to me that Premier League is set up that way. Like, I can't believe like football clubs go under. I assume they get relegated. I don't know, but this feels good to me. Like, all right, because you don't want to lose right away. You want to be at the fourth worst team, and in order to be the fourth worst team, you have to try.
Yeah,
you know,
try for a
and,
little bit, and then you can kind of go, all right, we can pull the foot off the gas. Joey,
Yeah.
did you have any kind of specific feelings of this? Did this strike a chord? Do you think this might work? Or were you kind of like...
I feel like it's just going to move
Hmm,
the tanking
okay.
into like when Chris said this, that the Bulls would have benefited from this. I was like, well, yeah, they probably would have, but I also feel like this is like made for the Bulls, where it's like, hey, get in that play-in spot,
Yeah.
and you kind of get a little bit of reward, right? You weren't terrible, but you weren't great. So like, here you are.
But you weren't great.
So like, that's my maybe slight concern. Like, I feel like it's maybe self-serving a little bit to the NBA, where it's like, let's reward the play-in again as like this thing we've created. I like the idea. I think it's a step in the right direction to help with the tanking. The thing that I like the most is that no team can win consecutive first round picks, or number one overall pick. And that, what is it? You can't pick 3 consecutive years in the top 5, which I think
which is a hilarious rule considering the Spurs with Castle, Wemby, and Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I like the theory. My thought was, though, is like, so what happens if those teams would technically fall into those spots? Do they just...
That, I think
they haven't called for that yet, or I'm sure they have. They just haven't announced it yet.
Oh yeah,
but
that part I don't like. I don't like that. Like, the back-to-back thing, sure, whatever. I guess you can put in a rule with that. Again, I don't like that because it's just a random roll, right?
Yeah.
Like if it just happens to be, but I really don't like the 3 and 5 years or whatever that is, or you can't be in the top 5 3 years in a row.
Top 5 3 years in a row.
Because to me, all right, let's say you're a terrible team, but you get the number 1 pick. All right, now you got your guy. You're trying to build around him. Yeah,
you'll still be terrible.
Yeah, you're still gonna be terrible. You know what I mean? Like the Mavs aren't gonna be great for the next couple of years now because they got Cooper Flag. Like they still have to do some stuff. So, and I think that's like Chris's point. The Spurs, they just showed you that if you tank or whatever, you lose, but you make the right picks,
it can
change. Yeah, in 5 years, you can be a really good team.
Right.
And that's the point. So I don't really love that. Especially because, like, let's say, if you're in that 4 to 10 range, you have an 8% chance of the number 1 pick. I mean, you might end up in the, the top 5 a couple of years. And those are the teams that should be filling out their roster with good young talent. I think my only thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
So the only thing I had was I feel like they actually should have given a little more love to the play-in teams, because I feel like, to Joey's point, the tanking is just going to be like, all right, let's just tank from 4 to 10, and then you're gonna have teams kind of competing to get out of the lottery or out of the play-in, because you drop a 3% chance. Whereas now it's like, well, it's not great to be a 10th seed, the 10th seed.
Yeah,
it's better to be the 11th seed. Which,
yeah,
I feel like there should have been a window.
I don't think there's ever going to be perfect. I think that's definitely a caveat that would play a role in this, but I still think like this decentivizes losing enough in my eyes, but without completely ruining it. Like without being like, well, how's a bad team supposed to get good? It's like there are other ways besides the draft. Like look at the Pacers.
Yeah.
They've done it. Like don't look at them this year.
The Halliburton,
look at them in the
trade. Yeah, look at them this year. There.
Does all this actually do is it makes it less obvious to the casual fan that a team is tanking? Like it's going to be harder to kind of figure out because there will probably be some more movement throughout the season, and like,
I think like, I mean, it's so funny because the Bulls are just like the stereotypical team for this, but it's that team that is not good, but just trying to win,
trying to lose.
Yeah. They're just like they're because. And that's the other joke of this is the Bulls finally go full tank route, and if they change the rules,
they're gonna get.
They just traded Kobe and Io and all these guys, and now they're gonna be a bottom 3 team that can't win the lottery. Like, of course they did that, but like, and got and their coach left that like would just keep them a mid-tier team. But
I didn't even think about that.
that's the first thing I thought when I saw it. I'm like, God damn it, the Bulls did it again. They big brained themselves again.
Well, it's not going to be for this draft, right? It's for
it's for the coming
27.
drafts, 27. But that's the season the Bulls would, in theory, be the worst possible.
Right,
Bulls,
when
you
they-
know what I mean?
yeah.
When they've decided to tank, they change the rules on them.
I think the interesting part is going to maybe not interesting part, but like the Cavs or not Cavs. God, the Wizards are going to be an interesting like test case of this.
Yeah,
If they get the first round or the first overall pick this year,
yeah,
like they still might be shitty next year.
yeah.
But you can't look at them and say they're actively trying to lose with the trades that they made at the trade deadline this season.
Mhm.
But if AD gets hurt or Trae Young doesn't actually turn into making them better and Alex Sarr, like all that stuff, like they could be terrible again.
Yeah.
And then what? Like you look back on it and say, well, you got 2 first-round picks in a row.
Yeah.
Like you're done. You're out. I don't know.
Yeah, because maybe they're the fourth worst team, and then they got an 8% chance, and then they get the first round pick, and well, you can't do that.
Right.
2 years in a row. Sorry. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
But you tried everything. You spent all this money.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out. So middle finger, fuck you. Like
Sucks to suck.
sucks to suck, right? Like,
be better.
yep. Here, Utah, you get the first pick.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's pluses and minuses, but overall,
sure.
I think it's better. I
Something
think
has
it's
to
better.
change.
It's a step.
It's so
Something
bad
has-
how
yeah,
it is now.
it's so
Yeah,
bad.
whoever is being like, "Oh, let's just keep it as is," like, no,
No.
way, no.
It was
The
painful.
third
This
of the
season.
league is trying to lose games. It's a joke. We see
Yeah.
teams go on 12. The Nuggets were on a 12-game win streak to end the season, and it's like they would have lost 1 or 2 of those games. I feel like if this
Teams
was
were
in
trying.
place,
Somebody was taking it seriously.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, but something to look forward to for sure. And we'll see. Hopefully, the Bulls can make 2 good picks and then be in better shape next
Just
year.
get right out of it. Just get out of all
you're
this.
right, get
nonsense.
I
right
love how
to
these
8.
spots always seem to end with like, well, maybe the Bulls will
The Bulls will
figure it out, and it won't have to
You never know,
be
Chris.
so sad anymore about this team.
It sounds like the finalists for their GM are the Hawks and the Timberwolves. So
Matt Lloyd, yeah,
yeah.
cool.
Okay.
So
All right.
It's promising.
Yeah, it's not bad. So
Paxton's been a part of the search, so I'm a little weary, but
Shut up, Chris.
see how much control he gives to whoever comes in.
I haven't been keeping up on the search yet, but I gotta start seeing them when they.
No, they're already into it. They've already done it.
Yeah.
They've already done them all.
Well, I haven't done them all. They've done them all, so now it's just like a deciding.
I think they've done them all. I think these are their favorites. They're kind of deciding or second rounds and everything. So
Okay. Putting it out into the air, seeing what the fans say.
get anybody with a pulse.
Yeah, be nice. I got 2 big picks to make it.
Right.
All right. Well, we can wrap it up tonight. Unless you guys have anything else. But that is it for us tonight. Follow us on social media at the Box Out Boys. Slide in those DMs. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube and Spotify. We very much appreciate that. So for the boys, until next time, guys, Box out.